welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the Blacklovesmiths YouTube channel. I'm your brother P.
I'm Joe.
And we thank you guys once again for returning to us. If you guys have not done so already, please like, subscribe, and share, and hit the notification bell so you guys can stay updated as to all the new content that we post.
Definitely. Thank you guys for coming back. Today's episode or show is an interesting one because we spent some time talking to you guys about our marriage. We've talked to you guys about ministry and what God placed on our heart. And we've kind of been holding out with this music announcement. But P and I, we actually are part of a duo, a gospel group called the Blacklovesmiths. And we just got off the set of our first album shoot for our album cover. Our EP cover rather, called The Work. And that's going to be coming out September 22nd as our 1-year anniversary gift. And we're excited to talk to you guys about that. And we're going to be doing so much with it. But we want to give you guys a little bit of background and get into this music thing with you guys because we're going to release it, but we won't do it the way that I think you guys might expect. And we want you to be prepared for it. And we want to let you know as early as possible so you can be first up, first dibs, and get all the information you need on us and what we're doing in order to really support, because we appreciate y'all, we love y'all, and we're excited to get this music done for you. Okay, so most of you guys know P and his wonderful wisdom and his passion for God. But most of you don't know that P is also a very, very excellent, talented producer. And all of the records on our EP he produced and co-wrote with me. And I'm excited to tell you that we're excited because the songs are crazy dope. So I want you to let the people know, P, what experience you have. What's your background in music that allowed you to play all of these beautiful songs that are going to be on The Work?
Well, I got my start from the Rosa L. Parks High School of Fine and Performing Arts, class of 06. You already know. I went there for classical music, started on the sax. Kenny G was my inspiration. So my mom actually bought me, my first instrument was a soprano saxophone.
Okay.
But when I went to high school, auditioned, they said I couldn't use that for the concert band. So they put me on alto and then baritone sax.
So you play soprano, alto, and baritone sax?
Yes.
And you also play the piano?
Yes. So I fell in love with the piano towards the end of my high school, like my junior year of high school. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to minor, but I was unable to read, treble and bass clef at the same time, which is a requirement. So I was told that I couldn't do it. Oh. So I was a little discouraged, disappointed, but I didn't let that hinder me. I went and ended up learning how to play by ear.
Yeah, you taught yourself. That's
what
happened. You taught yourself. You taught yourself because you're smart. You is so smart. That's awesome. I love your music. I think that, and no, seriously. And I've played, our songs for people who know me from my background in music, and it's just such a different, beautiful sound. What is your target when you create music? What are the things that you really want every one of your tracks to have in them where you're like, that's P?
Moments in time.
moments. That's beautiful. Yeah, because isn't that what music does anyway? It soundtracks a moment. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's beautiful.
That's actually one of the reasons why I had such a desire to learn how to play, because there were songs and compositions that I would hear from other people, and there were certain parts, certain chord progressions, and I would just get captivated.
Yeah.
But they would keep going on with the song, and I'm like, man, I wasn't ready for that to end just yet. But I knew the only way that I can live in those moments was to learn how to play it myself. So that was one of the motivating forces, driving forces for me to teach myself how to play.
What do you think some of your challenges are coming from, playing for yourself, playing because you love it, playing for the passion, and now turning this over into a product that you're giving out to people? It's not just for you anymore. Do you change up your style? Did you try to do anything different? Did you take in other things? Like what are some of the challenges you're facing now becoming a music artist? Because you also sing on this project.
As far as the music competition goes and producing, hearing all the...
Competition or composition?
Composition.
Okay, I just didn't hear you right. Okay.
Hearing all of the accompanying sounds. That's new for me, because I can get the foundation of a song just fine.
Okay.
But then knowing when to put the strings and bass, drums, these are things that were extremely challenging for me as a producer. As far as a vocal artist, being in the forefront, I have training in blending in a choir to not stand out, to to blend in with the person to the right, to the left of you. So now I'm in a predicament where I have to stand out. I have to find my identity vocally, and it's just like it's extremely challenging.
Yes. And I'm hard on you. I am. You kind of champion us in the song arrangement category. You keep us fit and you keep us together in that way. But in terms of that, the challenges, that's the vocalization, that's really where I'm really hard on you. But to your credit, I think you've done very well, considering we kind of just threw you in and expected you to achieve at a level next to someone who's been in it for so long. So to be fair, you did not have an opportunity to train for 20 years about how to do song recording, like I did. But I've used that experience to really push you, and you've really risen to the occasion. You guys are going to love his sound on these records. They're so beautiful.
As I listen to you talk, that's my life now. I've always been the one, I'd rather be heard and not seen, fly on the wall, chameleon, blend in with the environment. And when I met my best friend, especially after we got married, but definitely a little bit before, the decision was already made that we were gonna get married. But knowing all the stuff that this woman has accomplished on her own before me, her and God, and it was night and day, and she told me, babe, you're not gonna be able to play the shy guy, the quiet guy. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work in this union. God wants you to speak. He wants to hear you. Yeah. And it's still challenging for me. Even doing this is not something that I could say I foresee myself doing. Because I don't like talking, definitely not being recorded.
Yes. But if y'all love P, please drop in the comments and encourage this man, because he's been doing wonderful. This is not inspirational. He's been doing wonderful. So just take the time and drop us a couple comments, just encouraging your brother P in these new things that he's doing with his theater. His theater arts wife. Tell him your hopes as a producer. What do you hope that they get from hearing your sound?
I hope that it would intensify the moments in your life where that still small voice is talking. A lot of the songs that I love listening to do that for me. It quiets out everything else, and it intensifies that still small voice. So that is my hope for you guys, as the listeners.
It's beautiful.
We invited some of your favorite performers from this past year back to the show. And up first, we got a singer representing from Connecticut. She calls herself Rain, and trust me, she makes it pour.
I'm boss, understand. Hey, see all that crying, then you stress.
The winner is
Rain from Connecticut. Come here, boss lady.
Can you clap for me? Okay, so for me, you know, it's been a pleasure watching you really take up the mantle of all of these different endeavors, being like someone who's on social media and being like someone who is in the forefront as a music artist singing solos on records is really a dope transition to watch. And I've always wanted to get into like music management and like that side of things and artist development and stuff like that. But we'll get into why I don't really rock with the music industry like that. But I did have what I think is successful career in music as an unsigned artist. I've worked with some of your favorite artists. I did 8 months in California with Will Smith. I've opened for Little Mo, Jagged Edge, Ja Rule, Joel Santana. I was the first to do a concert in my city hall as an urban artist ever. And we sold out of that concert, and then it snowed. You know, 1,600 people, and then it snowed. So people couldn't come, but we still did the concert anyway because the concert hall wasn't going to give us another day. So anyway, so my history in music is vast. I've worked with many people. I've written many songs, and I've done 3 albums, which are, some of them are not accessible anymore because the name Rain got copywritten somewhere else, like overseas or whatever, and I just didn't have the energy to fight it. Which is another reason why I'm now, instead of Rain Raphael, I'm Joanna Joe Smith, and you could just call me Joe. But and I'm somebody very handsome's wife. So it's for me, the music, the theatrics and things like that, that's nothing new. But what I've always done, even though I'm good with theater, I have a degree in theater and I love it. My passion for it is bringing life, like reality, to different arts. Like, I'm one of those people who really believes that art imitates your life. And so everything I've done is to authentically show what my life is. And so being that realistic, vulnerable and authentic person has always been my brand, and we just try to do it in excellence. So seeing you rise to all of that, that's 20 years in or so. I started in 2000, and we're in 2021 doing music together, and you are rising to every challenge. So I'm really, really proud of you.
Thank you, babe. So what would you say are some of your challenges now? You guys, she's laid out an extensive background, you know, all the accolades, you know, the people that she's worked with. But what would you say some of the challenges that you are experiencing now, transitioning from secular music to gospel?
Oh, that's a really good question. And all of the accolades and everything, they never really did much for my personal self-esteem in music. I have personal self-esteem as myself, but in my music, my voice is so unique and different. I don't think that I was able to wield it and command it properly until I started producing music with you. And I think that that's because the warmth of your sound really, really helps me develop a round sound for myself. Whereas sometimes when people give you tracks, you just write for the track. You don't necessarily write for your soul. So I've written some beautiful songs that came from my soul, but I've had to fit them into the box of the track. Whereas now we're married, and we're married in the music as well, and it's beautiful. I think the main challenge for me is getting outside of that. You know, my walk with God is so intimate and personal. So I spent all of this time, I never really did music that wasn't positive and uplifting and empowering for people, even if I was speaking about something controversial. But showing people how much I love God is very challenging, nerve-wracking. It applies a different type of pressure on me because I am a bit of a perfectionist. And I know that I don't have a perfect sound. I know that I'm not going to hit every note all the time. That's just not, some people have it, you know, some people are Kim Burrell. Some people are Jasmine Sullivan. You know what I mean? Like
was the brother named DeAndre?
Shout out to DeAndre. If y'all don't know DeAndre, yikes. So I don't have a voice that, is gonna hit every note. I'm not gonna run you into next week. I'm not gonna be able to do that. That's just not what I can do. What I can do though is be honest and authentic. God has given me my gift, and being confident in the fact that He's asked me to give it back to Him is really the biggest challenge I have. Is just trusting that that's good enough. That's the biggest challenge that I have.
Okay. So what's the hope that you would like to portray in your music and your sound to your listeners?
My hope is that, like, I'm a songwriter, like some people are really excited about singing, and they sing, and that's what they want to do. It really doesn't matter what they sing ABCs, and it's like the longest ABCs you've ever heard, but it's beautiful. I am a songwriter. I really, really pride myself on giving people things to say in times that they don't feel like they can say anything or that they don't have words. And so it's really important for me to be able to say my lyrics without music, without sound, and it still resonate from a real place. So my hope is that when you hear this music, and when you say the words, and when you repeat these words, you believe the hope I had when I wrote them, that you believe the presence is there, that you know for a fact that even though we're not what they think Bible people look like, that God is real for us, and He shows up for us. I mean, I'm for the people who are out here in these streets. We often talk about you being here for the stargazers, people who want to look up into the sky and marvel at what God has done, people who find beauty in the ocean and the sunsets. That's what we come for. I come for people who had nothing but God in many different occasions, and whose life is a testimony. And my hope is that you who have felt uncomfort or discomfort in church or in any setting that's deemed for God, but you love Him anyway, and you want some type of understanding for that, I'm hoping that this is your music. I'm hoping that this is your sound. Yeah.
And I definitely can attest to that. Providing words for people who don't have them, that's exactly how they feel. They just didn't have the words to express. You guys know me. You guys know I'm not a lyricist. I'm not really lyrical. I'm not really someone who, again, like to speak a lot. But when I first met my best friend, it was like, she would ask me a question or something would happen, and I was, would be there racking my brain trying to figure out the words, and then she would just say them. Exactly! That's exactly it. And if any of you guys out there who have that same experience that I had, you can drop some in the comments, let them use you. Hashtag let them use you.
Let them use you.
Because, again, she really is awesome at that, putting words to people that, don't necessarily have the words. It's just a feeling. They have the feeling, but they don't have the words to express. So,
thank you, babe. I appreciate that.
Want to pull it up?
The work. The one we just tracked in today. Okay, babe. So, tell everybody why we named it The Work. Why is the EP named The Work? Go.
So, as you guys already know, that's all we've been talking to you guys about. Doing the work in marriage.
We do the work.
Do the work in ministry.
Yes, do the work.
And now we're doing the work in music. And the work is simply doing the work of the kingdom.
That's it.
Here on earth.
That's it.
And in each three of those aspects, there's a lot of work that needs to be done.
We be so tired. Oh God, we be so tired.
Yeah, but that's even our title track is actually entitled The Work as well. And in that, this beautiful, talented lyricist here and songwriter
Thank you.
really went off on that track as well.
Thank you.
But again, the work, guys, like so many of us are not doing the work. We're skipping steps, we're skimming here, we're skimming there, and we're losing time, we're wasting time. We need to do the work. Every day, for those of us that believe, we're supposed to be adding on to the kingdom daily.
Yep.
So if whatever you do in your day, you're not doing that, that's not a desire of yours, you're not aiming to do that, but you say you believe and you say you love him, you might have to check yourself on that.
And that's our job. That's our job. Our whole job is to love God and to keep his commandments. And this is the whole duty of man. I don't know how many times I said that this week, but that is our one job. And so when we say do the work, that's your job, is to love God. And if you love God, then you're respecting what he says to do. And when he's telling you what to do in your marriage, when he tells you what to do for ministry, when he tells you what to do in music, that's your job. You got one job. And loving him is worshiping him and respecting him and heeding the commandments. And the spiritual law is above all law. And so the songs, there's 7 of them. God thought the number 7 was enough. So we think so too. So there's 7 songs on this EP. It is comprised of beautiful music. It's, oh God, from the time Humbly Grateful comes on, it's just like, gosh. We have beautiful features on there. We have a feature from our son on there. We have an African record on there. That's done with a mix of Swahili, and you went off on that one. You went off on that. I can't wait for you guys to hear Najua.
That's my song.
That's his favorite. And I mean, we have beautiful. We have songs about fear, love, but the whole purpose in the work is for you guys to just get a sample understanding of who we are as artists, because this is just the beginning. This is just the platform, and we're going to do a thing, and it's going to be a new thing. You know, is that Isaiah? Behold, I do a new thing. Who said that?
I believe so.
I think so. And
you guys know for sure, drop in the comments.
Right, drop that in there in the comments. But we're going to do a new thing with this project. It's going to be unlike anything I've ever put out. If you know me from Rain Raphael, Music Gray Area, Eavesdrop, and the Ladybug albums, very different from that. And many people have said this is my best music so far out of the many people we've let listen to it, just to make sure we're doing what God said. So it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be blessed.
And it will be a new thing for me, because this is the first thing that I've ever put out. So, you know, they say I'm sensitive about my stuff.
Yes.
But it's one of the things that I love the most, and man, the way God had orchestrated this thing, whoo, that's another story for another day. But the thing I love about the most about these tracks is the versatility. We can go from the track itself into straight worship. All of them.
Yeah.
And that's something that, you know, I begin to realize in the midst of, like, you know, doing the tracks. Is like, wow, like if we go live, each and every song can go straight into a worshipful atmosphere.
We love it. We love it.
It's awesome.
So I know you said it was a story for another time, but I do want to touch a little bit about how special this project was, and the fact that we were like, we're going to get into we could get into how it was composed by God, but truly, this is the fastest project I've ever written in my entire life. This is the first project he's ever done in his life, and for it to be my fastest, I mean, he was working pretty fast. He was working super fast. So I always knew, I received a vision about my husband early on in our relationship, one that I still haven't fully divulged to him, and I'm not going to give it to you guys before I give it to him. But the point was that I knew he and I were going to do music together before we actually decided when. I didn't know when, I didn't know what it was going to be, and I didn't know where it was going to come from. That wasn't given to me. But I do know that we were supposed to do music together. I do know that we were supposed to have ministry together and speak to people like you. I knew all of these things before we even got married. But I would get woken up out of my sleep with music. And like fear. Da, 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 right? And I woke up out my sleep and it was like, babe, I got a song. And I started to record these moments in my phone so that I could have them for when he woke up or if I woke up or whatever. Then there were moments where he would jump up out of his sleep and he would write. And then he would be writing and playing and doing his, like with Najua, and just the spirit was just there. I just need y'all to know that this project is for God. Like, it is for God. And so because it's for God, when we say, behold, we do a new thing, we can't go about it the way the industry does things. We just can't. It's not, we're actually commanded not to. So it really will be up to people like yourself and word of mouth to hear this music and support this music on the devices. However, we still don't have all of the answers to that just yet as how we're going to put it out, but we are inspired by our favorite TV show, The Chosen, which is a TV series for free. You can get it on your phone right now. And it's about the life of Yeshua, Jesus Christ. And it's beautiful. And what they've done with it is, instead of asking the Hollywood producers to help them produce the show, they crowdfunded the whole thing. And now they're, more secular. Like, they've gotten, like I just heard, they just signed a deal with PureFlix or something like that, or whatever. So they're getting noticed or whatever, and that's great. But I'm pretty sure that all of their ownership, their masters, the quality, everything of it belongs to them. It belongs to them, and that's really important. And as a music artist who understands the business, I'm very cutthroat about my business. I cannot afford to be put in a position like Lil Nas X. Okay? And I need to be clear with you guys. As a music artist, you must be careful about the ministry of music, because the evil one is very good at music. He is an angel of music before he turned his ways. And so the music industry is quite corrupt from the top to the bottom. Doesn't matter if it's gospel or inspirational, or if it's rap or hip hop or whatever, if it's metal or death metal. All of it has a formula that is set to oppress, to help hold back, to box in and pigeonhole. And that is not the spirit of God. God is made of light and freedom, and that is what we are pushing for. So however we put this out, trust me, we will try to make it as accessible as possible by the grace of God, prayerfully. But I need you guys to know that there'll be some flexibility really necessary, because we cannot afford to be the people who compromise our spirit for the desire of fame or to get likes. We're just not going to do that. We're not going to do that. So I'm telling you now, before you guys start to say, why isn't this on the radio? Why aren't you guys playing this video on this television show? You'll have videos, you'll have music, you'll have all of that. But it may not be on mainstream, and I'm letting you know that right now, because we're okay with that. All we want to do is do what God said. That's it. And we're going to let God do it. However God does with it, that's what we're okay with. But when I see things like Lil Nas X, changing, contorting his body, making videos, giving Satan a sneaker with him as the forerunner of that, I'm not willing.
And we actually were going to go the route as far as we did have some labels and
yes.
recording agencies
yes.
that we were looking at to possibly try to go to and get a deal. But man, when I say the Holy Spirit shut that down,
shut it right down.
Because
I still have friends. I still have friends, and I love y'all. My friends love y'all. But that's not for us.
Because the main thing is the message, right? So Holy Spirit gives us a message to convey. We sign to a label. What if they don't agree with that?
Right.
It's not our message. It's the message from above. But what if they don't agree with that?
Right. Now
they have the opportunity to withhold songs.
Right.
To hinder the message getting out.
Right.
So this is a problem. God was like, no, you guys can't go that route.
Yeah.
He needs you, before you guys even get there, I'm telling you right now, no.
Yeah.
You guys cannot go that route because you said you guys can't be in any position where you will compromise the message getting out.
Right.
The unadulterated truth, the way I gave it to you, it has to come out that way.
And you guys need to know, this is why we're coming to the gate telling you that we did all of this with God. Like, we don't have a whole lot of money. We don't have a whole lot of, resources to do it as big and compete with Beyonce or anything like that. It really is going to be a choice for you as the listener to choose, Yeah, so, so that's basically the thing for me, is that I know that for me and for you, babe, we're really, really adamant about the authenticity of the Spirit. All of our songs have been prayed over, prayed about, and prayed through. And I'm excited about them because they're beautiful. But I also know, I was watching Tye Tribbet the other day, and it's an old video that he did, but he was saying how he had this new single during the pandemic, when the pandemic was getting really bad, and he wanted to put it out, and he was on the phone with the business, and they were asking him, could he do this or could he do that? And he didn't say what they were asking him to do, but his answer to them was, what you're asking me to do is borderline demonic. Yeah. And they pursued him still, like, what? This...
And this is the Christian gospel industry?
Yes. I mean, because let me tell you something. The CMC, the Christian gospel music industry, the urban gospel music industry, it's still owned by the three entertainment companies: Sony, Universal, and EMI. Those three labels own just about every other label that ever does any music. And so those three labels have their formula. They are a business. And, if Pepsi hires you to be their new Coca-Cola bottle, you're going to be shaped a certain way. You know what I mean? They're not going to all of a sudden let you come rolling out looking like a I don't know, like an Arizona can. That's not their brand. That's not their bottle. So that's how it goes with the music industry. And I know that up front. And so we're going to make a lot of sacrifices because of that. But I do not think it's going to hinder our success. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If any one of you is watching this right now and you're trying to decide whether or not you should go for the money or go for the soul, go for the soul. Go for the soul every time. And I know that this world is based on money. And I'm not telling you that money is irrelevant. What I'm saying to you is that God has all the money. And that's really important to understand, because what you do for God will last. Anything you really do for God will last, but what you don't do for God, it's not gonna work out. I had a very blessed journey in the music industry, for what it's worth. But coming back as a gospel artist is probably the most fulfilling thing I've ever done, and I haven't dropped one record yet. And I think that that's really important to say that out loud. And I also think it's important to know that we've already been successful before you guys hear one note. And I think that that's important too. But when we do drop this EP, that is where your support is going to be so important, so necessary, so helpful, because we do use our own resources to do this. And we do use our own, I'm editing videos, you're shooting them, we're writing the songs, we're paying for studio time and photo shoots, and it's indie all the way. It's indie all the way. So I just want to let you guys know that it's going to be a little different than what you expect, but I'm excited. I can't talk too much about it because I don't even fully know exactly how. I have an idea. I have an idea of how we're going to do it, but if I let you know now, somebody else might do it before us. No, I'm just kidding. And so, but yeah. So I just want you guys to know that it's going to be great, and we really need your support. When this music drops, we need you guys to tell 2 people. We need you guys to share this video. We need you to like, comment, and share on this video right now. We need you. And we need God. And God says, you might need this song. You might. And if you don't, you might know somebody who does. And that's why we're here. We're here for that person or you who needs this song, these songs. And we'll be here for as long as you need the songs. And as long as God says we need to do them. When he says stop, then you can expect us to stop. So that's it for me.
If you have a particular gift and or talent that God has blessed you with, you put it on your spirit for you to get out to the public, the masses, his people.
Bless you back. Thank you.
And you're struggling, trying to figure out which route you should take. Like we said before, oftentimes when it comes to these labels, it can be a bit of combativeness, because again, this Holy Spirit could have given you a vision so clear, but because you're assigned to them and they're telling you, that's not what we want to do, then you put in a position where you have to compromise.
Yeah.
We need to shift our perspective of what it is to be successful.
That's so good.
As children of the Most High.
That's so good.
What does it truly mean to be successful according to the Most High standards? Not the world. Because we already know the world is money.
Yep.
Money is not the root of all evil. The love of money. And y'all know they love money.
Yeah.
So we need to shift our perspective as to what it means to be successful according to the Most High standards.
Right. We need to get spiritual, because it's a spiritual battle. You know, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that just hit me just now too. It's like, this is a battle for the mind. You know, what is that you said the other day, babe? That the frontal lobe is actually the heart. You know.
Yes. So the Bible often talks about the heart. It's the frontal lobe right here. This is our seat of reasoning. This is our seat of intelligence. This is what the enemy wants. Again, our reasoning, our seat of intelligence. And he gains access oftentimes with our permission, unfortunately.
With our permission.
Our ears and our eyes. He gains that. And what we also put in our mouth definitely affects the flesh, which also in turn affect that. But it's a battle for the mind. It's a battle for the mind.
Right.
Excuse me. The Bible talks about the sealing. God sealing his people.
Seal them up. Yeah.
Then the seal of the mark of the beast. Talk in the right hand and in the forehead.
Right.
It's a battle of the mind.
Right. That right hand thing is not your microchip. It has nothing to do with any of that. The right hand is a metaphor for the hand you work with. The works.
The works.
That's what the EP is for. The works that you put out is what the Holy Spirit will testify.
And the question is, whose work are you doing?
Right.
Whose bidding are you doing?
Right.
So that with along, success according to whose standards. Because the world's going to tell you got to make money. Get the bag. Everything is centered around making money.
Right.
And they would have you trample on your own people, cut people off that's supposed to be in your life because you feel like they're holding you back from making money. But I forgot, if you guys remember specifically where this verse is in the Bible, where it talks about don't focus on storing up your treasures here on earth where, moths can eat them, they can rot.
Yeah.
But more so focus on storing up your treasures in heaven where they would never pass away.
Amen.
And I'm telling you right now, money is for down here. It's going to burn. It is not going to last.
Yep.
So we need to focus storing up our treasures up in heaven.
Yes. So that's what our work is. And we're going to do the work, and we're going to go out doing it. And we don't know what the outcome is going to be, but we sure are hopeful. But we do know that God is great. God is so good, and that he's really with this project. And we really hope that you guys will support us along this journey. We'll be dropping a single really soon. So you guys pay attention to what we have going on. This is our official announcement that the Blacklovesmiths are in the music genre. We're doing gospel, urban gospel, and we're doing it in a unique and beautiful new way, and it's all for God, and it's super dope and authentic, and I think you guys are going to love it. So stick with us. We'll show you how to get it in September. In the meantime, you're going to go on this journey with us, releasing singles and videos and all that fun stuff. Like, we just came from that photo shoot. It was really fun, so you'll start to see those photos come out. And we're excited to share this whole journey with you. But please start telling people now. That's why we're telling you. So you can start telling people now so we can start getting a family together of lovesmiths who really, really want to see just this beauty and God's excel in the world. I think we can do it together. And so you're invited to join us.
And just put on my spirit to share. If you guys are struggling with, the ways of the kingdom and the ways of this world.
Yeah.
Because down here, money is necessary.
Yep.
Until it ain't.
Right.
Until it ain't.
T-did.
But right now it's necessary. Where there's about to be a great wealth shift, currency change.
Yep, definitely.
So as long as that stuff's still going, money is necessary while we're down here. But again, if you guys know the particular verse where it's found in the Word, you guys can definitely drop it in the comments. But it just keeps coming to me where it's like, He feeds the birds of the air.
Yep.
Every day. Now, how often do you see dead birds, dead squirrels? Mind you, without human interaction or intervention, so there's no human tamper with them in any way. How often do you see dead birds, squirrels, stuff like that? How often do you see that? Like, they eat every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And God says, are you not more precious to me than they?
Birds. Mm-hmm.
So, either you're going to believe you believe, or you're going to actually believe and know that God truly has your back. He truly meant what He said. I will never leave nor forsake you. I will be with you even unto the ends of the earth. Do you believe that? Do you believe Him?
Amen. Well, we're going to go, guys. We love you guys so much. This is it for us for today. You now know we're going to be doing music. We're in the studio. We're working really hard. We're going to get this music out to you very soon. Singles will be dropping as early as next month from the time that this airs. So just know that. Be ready for that. Watch the calendar. You'll see the Blacklovesmiths website go up soon. All of these things are going to be coming, and we just want you not to be shocked. Like, since when do they do music? Since now. So tell somebody, okay?
Again, if you guys have not done so already, we ask that you like, subscribe, and please share.
Please share. That's important.
Please share. And again, you guys can hit that notification bell to stay updated to all the new and latest content that we post. All right? Thank you guys again for tuning in. We love you guys.
Yes, we love y'all. I'm Joe.
I'm your brother P.
And we're the Blacklovesmiths. Bye.